Thank you very much for introduction. Thank you for invitation on this very useful for me, very interesting meeting. I would like to show you our thinking about not through crack growth, not about surface crack growth, but mainly will be about some surface cracking material, and I will show you results of investigation for titanium alloy. First of all, I should introduce our thinking about fatigue cracking as a methodology which based on the knowledge about synergetics and cascade evolution of open system, which is metal. It's well known situation for instance, for traditional SN curve, value curve well known. We would like to use bifurcation diagram for step-by-step estimation different area for material cracking in regime very high cycle fatigue, high cycle, long cycle fatigue and quasi-static fracture, and border between transition from one region to another one is bifurcation area where can be seen exist two kind of cracking material. For instance, if you look at transition from very high cycle fatigue to high cycle fatigue, there exists possibility for the same stress level realization, two different type of material cracking at the surface and subsurface. The main idea of my presentation will be about subsurface cracking of material. There is shown area for very high cycle fatigue and for high cycle fatigue. I will discuss this problem of transition, and I will show you how it should be reorganized well-known fatigue curve, because there exists not only one type of material cracking but two. First of all, I would like to introduce our knowledge about material cracking as the model. It was investigated one of the specimen, notched specimen with this material structure, with this material property and chemical composition, and based on the acoustic emission approach in fractographic analysis, we discovered a specific area for material cracking as origin with very flat surface. This surface, we think, performs because of twisting and compression materials, and that's why there can be seen, first of all, flat surface of weak material, and then material cracking by the quasi-cleavage manner that can be around this facet. It independed on the stress level, depended only on the material state that realizes this type of subsurface cracking. So this is mechanism or model why this first step of material subsurface cracking can be seen, and this is a model that explains material cracking because of twisting in the condition of compression and twisting by action. But there exists only one question: what is the first? The first, material weakness, then plastic zone formation around this first facet, or maybe it exists simultaneously. There is weakened material and exists also formation plastic zone. We think that the plastic zone around this first facet forms after some weakening of material. So there exists in our model that first of all there is weakness for by one of the facet of material, and there exists also weakness, but exists formation plastic zone size, and then we can see crack propagation. To see this manner of material cracking, we performed very different kind of condition for material state, especially for smooth and notched specimen, to analyze this possibility of material cracking. So this procedure for investigation different conditions that influence, maybe not, on this bifurcation transition from one area of material cracking, one manner as the surface to another subsurface. Two types of specimens were used, named smooth specimens and notched specimens. There can be seen shape parameters. This is a well-known type of B-phase of alpha-beta for titanium alloy with mixed lamellar and globular structures. And there is presented information, this slide, about different type of heating, shot peening by the surface slightly, and a different state of material with heat treatment, without heat treatment, with combination of heat treatment, and shot peening, without shot peening, notched and smooth specimen. All this combination were investigated to see if it will be the same manner of material cracking subsurface that have been announced on the previous slides. First of all, test investigation procedure. Some specimens in area of bifurcation were not further because it was a long time of testing, and we also know that to construct a sine curve we pointed a row which shows us that it may be area of fatigue limit, but it's not fatigue limit, it's area of bifurcation, of transition from one manner to another one for material cracking. So it was used special method to open crack because of tension, I will show you, and all specimens were investigated on the scanning from microscopy. So you can see after the fatigue test we tested specimens to open crack if it crack exists in specimen. I will show results of this. So for one of the example for different type of tempering and shot peening material without tempering, only tempering, you can see well-known well-recurred diagram that I will show sometimes later should be reconstructed because it's not true, because it's not so in this area that announced as well-known method to estimate fatigue limit for materials. Another way also will be reconstructed for another state of material. Also another way, another value curve for different state of material, for smooth, for instance, specimen, and also for smooth specimen, but for different there is compared R ratio, more than 1 and minus 1. Also one of the examples. Fracture surface, because it's very interesting to compare, for instance, for smooth specimen or for notched specimen, area of material cracking. For notched specimen, there was difference because exactly in area of bifurcation there was seen two different kind of material cracking, endosurface and subsurface. But for smooth specimen, especially after shot peening, there was seen only subsurface cracking. An area for low modification of material cracking origin placing you can see on this slide. One of the example for smooth specimen temperature shot peening and these parameters of loading with R ratio and maximum stress. This is area of material cracking subsurface. We can see first step of area of material cracking and also the same situation that have been announced on the first slides. First of all, smooth weakened facet, and then in different direction, material cracking with also smooth facet, but announced small about sliding process. By this facet, we cannot see any evidence in sliding, only very, very smooth facet. The same can be seen for another situation, only shot peening. Also we can see first facet. Out of there we can see very good, strongly expressed evidence in material cracking out of this area. For instance, this is place of first smooth facet, and then you can see clear announced material cracking in different direction around. Not very clear the situation for the faceted pattern because of lamellar structure, but if we will see in high magnification the situation, also we can see area with very, very clear smooth facet from which can be seen start of material cracking surface. For notched specimen, also very clear, first of all, facet of weakened material. Out of this facet can be seen very strongly expressed material cracking out of this area. For higher magnification, you can see really that it's very, very smooth facet, but around this specific material cracking, because it was material that have been used for specimen manufacturing from the discs that have been prepared by the well-known technology used to prepare discs in aircraft engines. First of all, I would like to summarize results of investigation. Always, if it will be a dramatic change in the bifurcation area from one to another one manner, independently of the notched or smooth specimen, there would exist first facet with different size because of difference in stress level external that used to test of material to second material, but the same manner of material crack, independently of stress level or stress ratio, and independently of the tempering procedure or surface hardening procedure. Very interesting for me, first of all. I think it will be interesting for you to announce results about open crack for specimens that have not been found during test, and we try to see if it really inside the material exists area for predominantly material cracking or origination. You can see that it was so. We opened the specimen and we saw that there exists very small area with reorganized material manner of cracking, because you know that for slowly crack speed, material cracking exists because of very good, very clear determined dimples. But in this area you can see approximately quasi-brittle fracture because of organization regime subsurface. So it should be clear that for all tests, where we stop our test to determine fatigue limit, it will be questioned. Maybe it's not the same manner of material cracking that we think. Maybe if it will be some more cycles, it will be not origination crack at the surface, but subsurface. So it will be not point which indicate about fatigue limit. It's point about our not open knowledge about material manner of cracking. That's why, based on this thinking, we reorganized all fatigue curves that have been announced on the previous slides. For instance, this curve, this area, not area for material cracking at the surface. This area for cracking subsurface. So it should be clear, realize that not one or two curves, for instance, for this database. There is curve which reflect material cracking at the surface, and another one which reflect material cracking subsurface. The same results can be announced for high magnification and for another parameters as in curve for HT plus SP, high temperature tempered material, and surface hardened. The same. This is fatigue curve that have been used to estimate fatigue limit, but in reality these results of tests show us that there is subsurface cracking. So it's not the same fatigue curve. There exist two fatigue curves, and that's why it should be differentiated now, in my opinion, results of fatigue test, because if we think about fatigue limit, we should not stop our test. If we stop our test, we should open, if it will be possible, inside the material cracking if it exists. If not, we should think maybe the results of investigation that should be used for constructive one kinetic curve, maybe for another one because of subsurface material cracking. And another interesting results were discovered because of fixation measurements. There is comparing into possibility to investigate fixation because of second electron and backscatter electron. You can see that fixations have formation not because of material structure prevented. We can see that there exists manner of fixation formation independently on the order of material structure. There exists ladder structure that presents this slide. We measured fixations on the second stage of material cracking. There is example for measurements, explanation type of specimen, very clear fixation, crack growth in this direction, dependence between fixation spacing, the crack growth length, and number of sites that reproduce it from the measurements of fixations number. Very clear, maybe master curve, basic curve, fine description that can be used for all combinations of R ratio, material state condition, surface state, smooth, so not just specimen. There is NP, crack growth, number of sites for crack growth in terms of fixation measurements, and F, durability of specimen. We can see strongly expressed with small deviation unified dependence between this ratio and durability of specimen for all combinations of used material state. And because of this specific manner of material cracking subsurface we considered by the introduced model, we try to estimate value by the well-known introduced knowledge about area, region value and hardness of material, but it was introduced by Murakami applicably to steels, but we try to use it to estimate critical state, maybe under torsion, but external torsion, maybe under tension, to estimate value by the first facet, that clear C subsurface. We used, first of all, model that, my opinion, is very simple and very clear, estimated material cracking if it will be slow crack growth rate, and it will be clear that between crack growth rate and crack length exists linear dependence. If will be small part of this circle crack front extracted and will be considered string model, it will be clear that crack extension can be described because of any 52 force acting and moved this crack from this direction, from one point to another one. Then it can be considered a very clear relation for energy of material cracking, and if we will consider that there exists material not only string moving but material cracking, we will see that it can be converted in this simple ratio where CF coefficient can be described by this well-known formula. It's approximately the same that classically have been introduced, for instance. But difference is because there exists sigma E. Sigma E is equivalent stress, because for material cracking, for string moving, it's not difference what kind of external loading have been realized, because only the crack extension considers this model. That's why there exists different possibility in complicated way of external loading, maybe tempering, maybe influence of residual stresses inside of material. It's complicated. Different combinations between external and inside state of material can be used to estimate this value. We now only try to explain if these different parameters, which can be seen because of model, explain material cracking subsurface because of twisting, it should be introduced tau value, and the sigma, because there is compression, and sometimes later it should be open crack, because crack can propagate only because of opening process. And for the first step, we estimate values which combines, it should be converted because tau less than sigma. It's not, it should be another value introduced. Using Murakami equation, we compare this ratio, and we can see that between sigma and tau exist very good ratios that were known for material. It's not finished of our thinking about possibility to estimate this sigma A because of tau and X values, but I think if it will be more experimental results and investigation in the future and database, it will be introduced as model. But it should be clear that subsurface there exists not only one but several origins. So it should be introduced summarizing case for estimation material gradient subsurface. For titanium alone exist maybe 3, 4, and 5 origins with the same, approximately the same area. That's why it should be introduced also knowledge about summarizing manner of summarizing area subsurface for material gradient. So there is conclusion that exists. First of all, we can see that investigation have shown that really in area well known as area of Philip limit, and in reality it's bifurcation area for transition from one to another one manner. It should be exactly estimated material cracking or manner for crack origination. And there is clear that exists unified description between this ratio and the durability for material, independently from the material state and the surface, maybe it's smooth or not specimen. And also there is exist, it's good. There is exist ratio very clear that can be used for estimating crack origination using area for material subsurface, but it should be clear that, I've just said, it's not only one origin, there is several origins. This idea should be introduced for estimation value of stress and combination between shearing, twisting, and tension of material subsurface to contract for crack origination. Thank you very much.
You have used a notch specimen with a notch tip radius, an absolute radius equal to 2 millimeter.
Yeah, 2 millimeter, yes.
If I use a notch radius with equal to 1 millimeter, for example, 0.5 millimeter, it's possible to have a subsurface crack?
Thank you very much. Absolutely right. It depended only on the level of stress, external stress, at which will be this transition. For lower radius, it will be lower level of stress where this transition will be seen, but it will be always. This transition independent from the material state and surface. It depended on the possibility to realize one of the manner of material cracking.
Another short question. The ratio ranges between 2.5 from 2.5 to 2.6. In the macroscopic, at the macroscopic level, if I use von Mises, if I use Beltrami, Tresca, ranking, I find different ratios with respect to that value. It's not surprising for you that ratio?
Yes, you're absolutely right. I explained that we used model Murakami, which introduced knowledge about material hardness and area. It's a small difference that we know always about, for instance, for von Mises resolution. You're absolutely right. But for this type, this manner of using estimation material state, it's not a surprise because for this type of MR estimation, this value exists for silver. That's why it's not surprise.
Andre, can you explain a little bit more in detail how did you recalculate the SM curves for the, you showed us for the notch specimen and a smooth specimen?
Thank you very much for the question. We did not recalculation, we reorganization. We did reorganization. Thank you very much for the question. If we have only knowledge about experiment, it's well-known tradition. We have stress, we have number of cycles. It's enough. But in this area, we use only knowledge about number of cycles before not failure. So we should know if it will be failure by this manner at the surface for the long number of cycles, long time, or not. If we have specimens, we can over and see if exists some surface evidence of material cracking that can be, I should use this point, not for this diagram, but for this diagram, only. Only. But it can't work, really, because sometimes we open without result. We cannot see.
Okay, we can discuss that.
Yes. Okay.
As you have shown a very interesting diagram when you plotted that NP over NF, that propagation life over total life, as a function of the total life.
Okay.
Oh, yes. So looks like the propagation life here is very small in comparison to the total one. So what is the remaining part? You would call initiation? What's going on before the crack starts propagating?
It depended on the stress level, because if it will be high stress level, it will be maybe 30% or maybe more.
Yeah,
but for lower, it may be 10% or less.
So why the crack started growing after, you know, when I look here, 10 to 6, 2%, so it started growing after many 100,000 cycles. Why it didn't start earlier? You know? What is that period, you know, mysterious one?
It's not mysterious.
From a physics point of view.
Yeah.
As a mechanician, I will call it initiation.
If I understood your question, the question is, first of all, sorry, I answered the first part of your question. This is a curve constructed for, have been constructed for practice, because during my business in further analysis, I should understand, can I use crack growth period that can be easily estimated by the fracture surface in terms of measuring of fatigue stretches space to predict how long it was the surface? Yes, it's really so. It depended on the material state. It's very nice, it's very good. But another question fundamental. Ratio between number of cycles during all material cracking exists, and only second stage when we can see fatigue stretches. You're absolutely right.
So this is the striation.
Only striations. Only striations. It's specially extracted.
So did the crack grow before striation?
Yes, and enough long, absolutely right. But we did an estimation in our goal was for our experience.
Just looking for opinion.
But we can do it. We can do it.
So where did the crack before striation? Did the crack grow after each cycle, or you had to apply several number of cycles and then it jumped?
If it will be material cracking, in my opinion, less in terms of crack growth rate, in terms of that distance between two atoms, it will be only jumping. It's impossible in a conventional material cracking between these two atoms. It's my opinion. That's why if we will see less crack growth rates, it also will be stopped and jumping, stop and jumping. So it will be low.
Maybe the crack is just has a very specific increment. One Burgers vector, 2, 3, 5, but nothing between. In that case.
First of all, manner of cracking always exists because of mesotunneling effect. First of all, cracking exists not along all crack front, only because of this, and then interaction effect between two or maybe three mesotunnels. That's why this interaction effect can delay material cracking. That's why we can see small cracking, but then it will be time to crack neck boring between two mesotones and maybe third mesotones, fourth. Then it will be organized all crack from shape. So it will be really long time to realize this very complicated way.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sorry.